Get back to politics now. We are live in Philadelphia for day 2 of the Democratic Convention, where former President Bill Clinton is tonight's headliner. His speech comes after Bernie Sanders worked to unify the party behind Hillary Clinton and got a lot of resistance from his own supporters. Joining us now, Lars Larson, a syndicated radio host. Also with us, Leslie Marshall, also a syndicated radio host and Fox News contributor. So, Lars, there is this effort to unify the Democratic Party after, a pretty bruising primary. Does it look to you like they have succeeded, like all of the bad times are behind them?
Based on what I saw last night, absolutely not. I think what's happened is a party that always complains about disenfranchising voters has managed to disenfranchise all the Berniacs by cheating their candidate of a legitimate shot at the nomination. And now they're saying, can't we all be friends? Just vote for Hillary. I don't think the Berniacs are going to go for it.
Leslie, you think everything's hunky-dory there in Philadelphia, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say everything's honky-dory, but I definitely was watching and at a different convention than Lars. At the end of the night, one of the things that I noticed and that encouraged me as somebody who supports Hillary myself was Bernie supporters holding up Bernie signs were also holding up "I'm with her" by the end. I definitely saw after Senator Al Franken's speech more and more momentum, more and more unity, not just with applause, but with less outburst. And honestly, as you know, guys, I'm here in Philadelphia, but I live in California, and the California delegation had the most, from what I saw, Bernie signs, and they were closest to the stage and the microphones. May I say that?
All right, Lars, you've got Bill Clinton, the former president, up tonight. When he takes to the podium, does he remind people of his 2 successful terms back in the 90s? Does he remind people of, all the scandals that came during the first Clinton administration? What does he do tonight?
I think tonight, Bill Clinton, by his very presence, reminds folks that the Clintons, both of them, have cheated their way through politics. They've lied to the American people on a regular basis. He lied. His wife has lied. The party has apparently lied to the party faithful. And so I don't know how you bring all that together. I heard from delegates as well. I'm still at home, but delegates on the floor who were told, if you bring those signs back tomorrow night, you're going to be kept off the floor. This is a party that plays hardball. I mean, this is a party that's holding its convention behind a 4-mile-long, 8-foot-high fence and complaining about the fact that Donald Trump wants to build a wall on our southern border. Apparently, it's okay for thee, but not for me, according to the Democrats.
All right, Leslie, what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I saw people, Lars, of your ilk, love you, but that were calling the podium a wall. Certainly a wall around a nation is very different than a perimeter because of security to protect all people inside, not just Democrats and not just speakers and not just Clintons. Bill Clinton certainly is not going to stand up and speak about scandals tonight. And I also don't think he should speak about his presidency because not just tonight in this convention, but going forward in November is about, hopefully, his wife being elected president. So I think he will speak to her strengths, and I think he will be very much more a uniter, even more so than the First Lady was and some other speakers last night.
But sticking with you, Leslie, I mean, one of the problems, it is often said, is that Bill Clinton is so engaging and gregarious and just such a good old boy that he sometimes outshines his wife and her speaking abilities. Is that a danger, do you think?
It would be a danger if she were going on right after him, perhaps a little bit. Look at Elizabeth Warren last night. Michelle Obama was a very tough act to follow. I certainly wouldn't want to have to do that. But yeah, Bill Clinton is one of the greatest speakers, I think, in our time in modern day. And the Democrats have that, in a sense, as an ace up their sleeve, which we'll see this evening. But he also has a very different personality. And I think that most Democrats there, on the floor, they know the difference between Bill and Hillary.
But Lars, tonight is the night that Hillary's name gets placed in nomination. Exactly how they're going to do that, we don't yet know. Apparently, there are discussions underway to have Bernie Sanders himself put her name into nomination. Whether that happens, we'll see. But if there are Sanders supporters out there who don't want Hillary, this is kind of their last night to really make mischief, isn't it?
And by the way, last night, Bernie Sanders alluded to that when he said, I'm looking forward to your votes. And he was talking right to the Berniacs in tomorrow night's roll call. So it sounds to me as though the party has made Bernie Sanders knuckle under and say that he's going to back Hillary Clinton, even though he once called her unqualified to be president of the United States. But he's still expecting his people to show some force tonight during the roll call vote. So it may not be all, a beautiful thing tonight for the Democrats. I think it's going to be ugly. And as long as Bill Clinton doesn't refer to his wife as the potential deleter-in-chief, he's probably okay.
So you think that things are, I mean, they're going to get things on track. They're going to obviously nominate Hillary and move on to the rest of the convention, Lars.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. They're on a track. They're going to do it. They had to throw Wasserman Schultz out of the boat. They brought in Donna Brazile. Take a look at her history. They're going to have to move forward. They don't have any choice at this point, but it's going to be ugly because they're going to have to try to, muscle all the Berniacs into line. And I don't think they want to go there. I think some of them are going to sit home this November. They won't vote for Trump, some of them, but they also won't vote for Hillary because they know she's a crook.
It does make the Republican convention look like a bit of a cakewalk, doesn't it, Leslie?
Yes.
I guess maybe not from where I'm sitting. I saw protest. I saw empty seats, which we didn't see last night at this convention. I thought, especially with the speakers, it was very organized. Look, there were people that were shouting things out during, Trump and others speaking. Last week in Cleveland, we saw that last night in Philadelphia. And I think that's going to happen as there are people that are in a party that are not necessarily happy with their candidate.
When Elizabeth Warren, the darling of the left flank of the party, gets, I don't know, shouted down, not shouted down, but people are taking up this "We trusted you" chant during her speech. Sounds like there's a lot of anger there.
There is a lot of anger, but we have seen, if we look back to 2008, when Hillary Clinton stood up and said that she was endorsing Barack Obama, the cameras panned to the people crying with Hillary signs and people booed. Then it was Hillary who put forth Barack Obama's name as the Democratic nominee back in 2008.
She had no choice.
Sometimes it looks like there's a bump, but I do think we'll be in a smoother course, and I did see that unity coming together last night.
Leslie Marshall and Lars Larson, radio hosts both. Thank you. We'll keep watching this convention. It's going to be interesting.
Thank you, John.